That decision yesterday didn't do a damn thing to prevent abortions. All it did was make them more dangerous and less accessible, especially to the people who need it.
And that was Governor Tim Walz in 2022 after the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade. Access to reproductive rights is a key issue for Democrats heading into November. Joining us now, Lieutenant Governor of Pennsylvania, Austin Davis, is with us now. Lieutenant Governor, thank you so much for being with us. And so I just want to start off by getting your reaction to this pick. And were you surprised at all that Governor Walz was tapped over your fellow Governor Josh Shapiro?
Well, first, thank you so much for having me. Look, I am excited about this pick. You know, we have said all along that this decision was a deeply personal decision that Vice President Harris was going to have to make, and she's chosen the person that she believes can help her win this election and that she believes can help her best govern. I'm also selfishly excited that I get to keep Governor Josh Shapiro here in Pennsylvania as my governing partner, and I know we're going to work our tails off to ensure that we elect this ticket in November and that we flip Pennsylvania blue.
That being said, as we reported at the very beginning of our show, you know, we're just learning from a source familiar with the vice presidential selection process that, you know, Governor Shapiro conveyed to the vice president that he was really struggling with this decision to leave the governorship there in Pennsylvania. Were you aware of that?
You know, it's not surprised. Governor Shapiro loves his job. He loves the people of Pennsylvania. I have seen the care in his eyes as he's crisscrossed this Commonwealth, and as we've worked to deliver real results for the good people here in Pennsylvania. So it's not a surprise to me that he would want to stay and continue this work, and I'm proud that he's going to continue doing that alongside me.
But just to be clear, did you have any conversations with him about that, or did you consult in any way kind of as this process was playing out?
You know, I've had a number of private conversations throughout this process with the governor. I'm going to keep those conversations private. But what I will say is we are extremely fortunate to have Governor Shapiro leading Pennsylvania. We're fortunate to have Kamala Harris as our nominee and our next president. And we're going to work like hell to make sure we elect Tim Walz and Kamala Harris as the next president and vice president in November.
There have also been some reports that your predecessor, former Lieutenant Governor and now Senator John Fetterman, expressed concerns about Governor Shapiro to the Harris campaign. Did you have any knowledge of that? And do you think that may have hurt his chances in any way?
You know, I think all of that is a lot of petty politics, to be honest with you. Clearly, the voters here in Pennsylvania didn't share those concerns when they elected Josh Shapiro in a landslide as our governor. Clearly, they don't share those concerns today, and the fact that he has over a 60% approval rating here in Pennsylvania. So I think a lot of that was just petty politics, unfortunately.
And how confident are you? I know you said you're very excited about this pick, and we see that packed arena behind you, but how confident are you that Vice President Harris and Tim Walz can win Pennsylvania in November?
You know, I think as Democrats, we have a job to do to get out all across Pennsylvania to talk about our vision for this country, how we're going to create an economy that works for everyone, how we are going to make our community safer, and how we're going to create ladders of opportunity for everyone. The contrast in this election couldn't be more clear. Kamala Harris has fought at every turn to move America forward. Donald Trump at every turn has fought to take us backwards, to strip us of our fundamental rights and freedoms. And I think at the end of the day, people are going to understand that contrast, and they're going to vote to make Kamala Harris our next president.
You are the first African-American lieutenant governor in the Commonwealth and also the youngest. How do you think Walz specifically can connect with not only black voters but also young voters there in the Keystone State?
Yeah, look, I think Governor Walz just has to talk about the work that he's been doing up until this point. He has been a champion for America's working families, from passing universal breakfast and lunch in Minnesota, helping bring down the cost of insulin, to fighting for manufacturing jobs and working people. I think he just needs to get out, talk about what his record is, and talk about the vision he has for America. And I think that'll resonate with voters across the spectrum here in Pennsylvania. The one thing that voters here in Pennsylvania respect is when you show up, you look them in the eye, you tell them the truth, and you listen. And I think Governor Walz has proven time and time again he's capable of doing that.
And what else do you think he brings to the ticket?
Look, I think he brings the fact that he has served our country in the military, the fact that he is someone who's worked his way through life from a working class family. I'm the proud son of a union bus driver and a hairdresser. I know what it's like to come from a working class family. I think that resonates with folks. And I think more people want elected officials who understand the day-to-day needs of working class Americans. And I think that's a tremendous asset that he brings to this ticket.
And then lastly, what role do you and Governor Shapiro expect to play over the next 3 months until the election?
Well, look, we're going to be out crisscrossing Pennsylvania. I'm proud to co-chair Black Voters for Kamala Harris here in Pennsylvania. I know Governor Shapiro has been on the road. We are going to crisscross this Commonwealth talking about the stakes of this election, talking about how our fundamental rights and freedoms are on the line. And we're going to talk about the contrast between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump. So we are going to be active participants in this campaign, and we're going to do everything we can to make sure we ensure a win here in Pennsylvania for the Harris Walz ticket.
All right, Lieutenant Governor Austin Davis, thank you so much.